Hello. I've really got very, very little for you this week. This is number 50, official video number 50, and it's going out with a whimper, not a bang, I'm afraid, because I've just not filmed anything this weekend. It's getting a bit fraught with this whole business about the bridge taking over an hour to get over every Friday night, which is meaning that we're not getting back to Bulgaria till about midnight. Because obviously, you just got to leave it a bit because the traffic's so bad out of Bucharest. We're not getting to bed till 2 a.m. because you buzzed when you get back. And we like to sit in the garden and watch the world go by for an hour or so. And that means we've not got that much time to do anything before heading back again, because the bus times have changed for me. So the latest bus I can get back on a Sunday now is 20 to 2, which means we have to leave the village before midday to get me to Rousset to get the bus. So yeah, we're just not doing as much as we would like to say we were doing. And honestly, it wasn't worth filming anything. I think I've shown you some rain, I've shown you some dogs, and I've shown you some tiles that aren't down yet, because this is real life, and not everything is Insta-worthy. And yeah, we're doing things like putting cushion covers on and sofa covers and cleaning the fridge. You don't want to see me cleaning the fridge? I'll put a photo in of my clean fridge, though, if it interests you. And sweeping muck off the floor and such like. So my mental health regarding dirt is still at rock bottom, because you're dirty all the time anyway because it's dusty and dry, but add plaster dust and brick dust onto that and it's just like, it's too much to deal with. So yeah, we shopped, we bought some a self-leveling kit and spacers and things for the tiling. We looked hopelessly at the tiles, unable to find a pattern. And we went to Tea Market and did some shopping, which is pretty much the subject of this week's video, actually, which is mostly me talking. So if you're here to see Chris with his shirt off, you're not getting him this week. And then we're so sad that we drove home and went, that was a really nice afternoon, wasn't it? Because it didn't involve any DIY. So we just gave it a break this weekend, really. The tiling, I am assured, is going to start this week and it will all be over shortly. We also got some rain, which showed us that the guttering system doesn't work as well as it could do. So we need to do something with that. Cost of living wise, I've got into several debates this week as a Facebook addict about the cost of living in Bulgaria. People saying, well, there's midges in the house. It's that time of year where you get the fruit flies. It's still miles cheaper than UK, etc., etc. And I'm sorry, I beg to differ. So I actually wrote some prices down because some of these prices nearly made me faint in the supermarket. So, cost of living. First things first, let's be realistic. Why are all these British people suddenly wanting to move to Bulgaria? Because the houses in rural areas are cheap. However, if you don't want to live in a tumble-down house in a rural area, then, apartments and houses in places like Sofia and on the coastal towns and in the cities are not cheap. There's still people selling this narrative of, you can buy a house for $6,000, me included. Yeah, you can, but you're going to need to put a lot more than that into it. And we've bought knowing that we can afford to do that because I have a full-time job and I'm paid on a Western wage, and that makes a big difference. But Romania's always been cheaper to live in than Bulgaria. However, our VAT has just gone up to 21%, and suddenly my bills have gone up by 250 lei a month, and my shopping's gone up by 100 lei a week as well. So it's not that cheap to live here anymore either. But yes, a lot of things are cheaper than Britain. So the things you are going to find that are cheaper, as well as buying a tumble down house in a village somewhere, and even a fully renovated house. Like, I don't know if you know it, because I know a lot of you watch a lot of Bulgaria videos. There's a couple call themselves Serendipity Homestead, and they are selling up their B&B, their Airbnb, and all they want for it is £57,000, and they're getting silly offers. And I think it's just really insulting, because it's a house that's fully renovated upstairs. The downstairs is being used as storage. 2 self-contained units that are full guest accommodation, aircon throughout, modern electrics throughout, fires, etc. And people are saying it's too expensive, and that's insane. So, you can buy a perfectly nice, fully renovated house in certain areas for like 50 odd grand. So houses are cheap. I also made some notes about what I pay for my utilities and such like. So council tax, I've seen a lot of people saying, well, council tax is £20 a year. It might be in your village, love. It's not in mine. It is a lot cheaper than Britain, obviously, because council tax is obscene. But my council tax is just for the plot with the house on, because we also have to pay for the woodland plot as well. And I'm not sure why, because it's not like it's using any services. It's just sat there being wood. My council tax this year was 156 lev, which is £69.45. So still a lot cheaper, but it's 44% dearer than it was last year. My electric last month was 134 lev, which is £59.65. And I know a lot of people say, well, you just acclimatise. You don't need aircon. You don't acclimatise. You need aircon. And your way of acclimatising is saying, I'm not going to try and do any work today. I'm just going to sit under the aircon and watch crap on Netflix. So I've had more expensive bills than that. I've had one that was 200 lev, but that's about what you can expect to pay in summer. Weirdly, it's cheaper in the winter because you're probably heating yourself with a petrka. Wood at the moment is about 130 lev a cube in my area. So I'm not sure how much that is in English money, probably about 60 quid. So there's that. My water, I haven't paid a water bill for 2 years because she was under the impression the house was empty. I've just had a 375 lev water bill. However, that works out at 16 lev a month, which is £7.12p. For the past 23 months that I haven't paid one. The downside to that is I think they're reading our meters and putting up-to-date bills in, because they're intending to bring in standing charge. At the moment, utilities don't have a standing charge in Bulgaria. They're going to bring one in, I assume, because we're not paying any money for water when it's not available to us. So now we can pay for water even on the days when there is no water. So yeah, those are winners. Fuel, Chris's car takes diesel. Diesel is approximately 2 lev 37 a litre, which works out at £1.06p. And a quick Google search has just shown me that diesel is roughly £1.42 in the UK at the moment, so that's cheaper too. However, other things are expensive. For example, building materials. If you want to price up how much building's going to cost you and you're in the UK, you might as well look on Wix or B&Q, because it is going to be pretty much the same. If you want to buy a car, you're going to pay more than you pay in the UK because they hold their value better. Vignette, your car tax is cheaper in Romania than Bulgaria. I think it's about 40 or 50 quid a year. I didn't write that one down. I have got notes on my Bulgarian homework. So to the shopping. I went shopping on Saturday and Chris wanted a steak. and they did have some steaks, and this is what set me off on all this. They had some small steaks. They were 300 grams. They didn't look particularly nice, and they were 15 lev for a steak, and that is £6.68p. So I said we're not buying those, and I went to look on Aldi, because Aldi is a good equivalent. It's a nice cheap supermarket in the UK. In Aldi, you can get a Big Daddy steak, which is 454 grams, so considerably bigger, for £6.99. So you are definitely paying more for that steak in Bulgaria. I realise everyone's not buying steak every week. However, I don't have the luxury of being able to browse around 15 different shops to find the cheapest prices, and most people don't. Most people have got other things to do. This was just tea market prices. Tuna fish in a can. The cheapest I've seen it, if it's not been on special offer, and it isn't all the time, is 4 lev, which is £1.78 per can. Tuna chunks in brine in Aldi are 65p. Butter. German butter, which is like the block butter, is about 8 lev, between 7 lev 60 and 9-10 lev. So let's say 8 lev for convenience, which is £3.56p. You can get a block of butter the same size in Aldi for £1.99. Bacon, this also set me off. Normally you get your bacon, there's 5 thin slices in a packet about that big, and it's about 4 or 5 lev. In Tea Market this week, they were selling a kilo of bacon for £14.99. So we picked that up and put it in freezer bags. That is £6.68. A kilo of bacon, cooking bacon, which is about the same quality, probably slightly better quality, in Aldi, is £4.49. So you're paying over £2 more for bacon in Bulgaria than you would be doing in the UK. Because I wouldn't let him buy the steaks, we bought pork steaks instead. It was a 400 gram pack, and it was 14 lev, which is £6.23. So I Googled that on Aldi, and for Aldi, you can get 480 grams of pork steak, which, to be honest, looks much nicer quality, for £3.29. So that's £3 more expensive in Bulgaria. And finally, we went to look at the cheese. I'm normally quite happy buying the yellow Kashkaval, the local cheese, or the Syreny, the white cheese. The Syreny, if it's local, is quite affordable. But I wanted yellow cheese. The blocks of yellow cheese, the cheapest one was 10 lev, so I thought, I'm not getting that. Started looking for a smaller pack, and I found 200 grams of cheddar, which isn't easily available in Bulgaria, so I was pretty pleased to see it. And that was it worked. It was £6.99 lev, and that works out at £3.12p. Whereas if you go to Aldi, you can get 400 grams of cheese for £2.79 for cheddar, and that's not the value cheddar that tastes like plastic. That's the mature stuff that's like the dupe of Cathedral City. So those are just a few things that I picked out this week because I was buying them. I don't buy steak every week. I don't buy pork steaks every week. Chicken, I quite often buy chicken. Is 15 lev a kilo, which would be £6.68. And I know that I can buy a kilo of frozen chicken in Aldi for £4.50. So that's more expensive as well. I don't buy all these things every week, but the shopping bill is big. And that's just for Chris usually, because I buy my own food here as well. So I just wanted to put that out there because I'm tired of being told it's the land of milk and honey. It's not. You need to make sure you got some money coming in. If you've got a nice little pension and some money available, then you're going to be okay, but you're still going to have to pick and choose what you buy. If you come in and you haven't got an income, you're stuffed. You can't live on nothing. So you do have to economise. I've heard people say laughably Oh yes, this is why we grow a lot of our own fruit and vegetables to save money. Sorry, I've been growing my own fruit and vegetables for years and it's never saved me a penny. What with compost and pots and greenhouses and gardening equipment, and seeds and everything else. You don't grow it to save money, you grow it for the joy of the fact that it's a wonderful thing to do and for the fact it tastes way better when you've grown it yourself. You will not save any money growing your own veg. It's very, very rare that you will do so. People are selling you a dream that isn't real. But like I say, we've got an income, and even when I retire, we'll still have an income because we'll have a pension coming in, and eventually we'll have state pensions. Not for a long time yet, unfortunately. And I can still pick up work here and there. I can't work in Bulgaria on a third country visa for 5 years. So I will have to return to the UK to do examining work and such like, but I can at least bring some money in that way. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting, and you might not be interested. You might have blipped through this, looked at the 30 seconds of film of some tiles and gone, God, that was a shit video, because it probably is. But you might be interested. I don't know. I've seen other people talking about it, and I was interested in what they had to say. So I thought I'd throw my two pennies worth in and say that a lot of things are not cheaper than the UK. The UK is not the only country in the world that is going through a cost of living crisis right now. And when you think, if you got 10 grand a year in pension, 11 grand a year, that's, you're looking at 2,011 a month to live on. So you can probably afford to do your shopping. But imagine if you're Bulgarian and you're up on those prices and your average wage is about 700 lev a month. That's shit. So, yes. Anyway, that's me. That's taken 16 minutes and I've got exam papers to mark and soup to make, which I don't fancy making because it's 35 degrees. But I've bought the stuff now. I'm skint till I get paid. So I'm going to have to go and make soup. It's going to be really hot. I'm sorry the video's really rubbish this week. I hope next week's will be better, but I was absolutely exhausted this weekend, and Chris was as well. He was really tired and emotional, and sometimes you just need some downtime. So, sorry it's a rubbish video. Take care. Much love if I know you in person, or indeed if I interact with you on the internet and you're a nice person and not somebody I don't like, or somebody who says things I don't like. Happy birthday, Ivan, if you happen to see this, and peace out. Just being creepy, stalky weirdos and hoping no one spots us, because this is my model for an ideal outdoor kitchen. I want something like this on a simplified level. So we've just stopped in the village to have a look at what we want. Yes, I am videoing in here now. Well, you've been sat on the couch for an hour, so I thought I'll go on video, and now you desperately want to get in there. Hi, domestic argument. So we've just been into Svishtov this afternoon. We had a really nice time, actually. We just went to the hardware shop and the supermarket and got some soup. But we've hit a snag. We did not think when we got these tiles, we just thought, yes, brown, rustic. We've just been and bought like a levelling kit and some, the plastic skirting board that you use with laminate floor and stuff, some of that. And now Chris has realised that there's a pattern involved here. The problem is we've opened about 4 boxes and it looks like there's a pattern in the middle here, but none of the boxes seem to have the other one for this in it. Maybe one of them does. So we're thinking that's just one that maybe goes in the centre, but we've Googled it and we can't find, these are all the same tile. We can't find a pattern online. I think, I've got a feeling like if we just put it together, I think it's going to look all right. I don't think, apart from that rose in the middle, that's a nuisance. If we can find that would be very useful, but we might have to open every packet to do that. I think other than that, I think it'll look absolutely fine. I hope. Anyway, he wants to come back in here now, so I'll shut up and go away. Oh, good morning, it's Sunday. Continuing the theme of nothing interesting is happening this week. Bella is all curled up in a ball there because the mother of all storms is coming. I can feel it, and so can she. Then we've got these two here. And outside the pups, because they don't care. I am making Chris a delicious, what's this, tomato, red pepper, garlic, onion, the obligatory courgette, the red lentil soup for the week, so that's bubbling away. The puppies are trying to kill each other, and it's just started to rain out here. We're just saying that we think these sunflowers can probably start to come down now. I think they've more or less finished. And I've got to go and pick some grapes because I'm going to take some home with me because I'm making delicious, healthy soup for Chris and not eating properly myself, just living off chicken nuggets. And this is our continuing quest to do the tiling. Now, it was suggested that we should tile after we've painted, which is sensible, but that holds us up another week because I'm the painter. So I just want the tiles down. I'll put blankets down and things. I'll be careful. Anyway, when will this ever end? Everything's so dusty.